Yo guys, Beast back with some more beastly content. Here we are back with some more Way of Winter prep / what to be doing while you're waiting for Way of Winter, all of the sorts. So on season transfer, you're going to want to be bringing yourself some seeds over, and we're going to talk about that first. There are some other things you can be farming while you're waiting for Way of Winter to get here that will just automatically transfer over and will be a great help to you in Way of Winter. So let's get right on into this. First things first, what I recommend doing for you now while you're waiting, if you haven't already, is get yourself some breed boost fertilizer. And the easiest way to do this, and the fastest and most efficient way, I'd say, is to get yourself a bunch of the seeds and just go farm your favorite Scarlet Calamus farming location. Get yourself a bunch of the seeds and get it grown up. If you need to know how to, or where to actually go get the Scarlet Calamus seeds, I do have a Farming 101 video link below, which goes through all of the fertilizers, all of the steps of growing plants and everything like that. It should get you caught up, as well as a build guide down below for my large scale crop facility that is also wonder to be used. But like I said, we are getting our breed boosting fertilizer up because we are trying to breed up as many seeds as we can, as we want to take as many seeds as we can into the game. That way on day one we have a ton of seeds, so we're able to make things like Stardust, energy drinks, and the such. So I suppose I'll go ahead and get on to the first things first. So there are rare seeds in the game, such as morel seeds, peppercorn seeds, and such. There's also contaminated berries, contaminated aloe vera, contaminated wheat. All of those, if you have any of those seeds, you want to be bringing those along because those are rare seeds that you will just instantly have access to. Morel seeds can be used to make things like canned seafood, so you're going to want to go ahead and get yourself as many morel seeds as you can to bring over. That way you can instantly go ahead and plant yourself some morels. That way you can get yourself some canned seafood oil and be growing it, and it's at a lot cheaper price than just bringing the canned seafood over. When you transfer from the season, it's only 10 points per seed to transfer seeds over. So you can technically bring a lot of seeds. So one of my plans for the season is to get a bunch of saffron and a bunch of beet seeds, because saffron and beet seeds plus purified water and aluminum ingots equals a can of Stardust energy drink, which is worth about 800 units sold directly to the vendors. So what that means is you can easily max out the vendors just off of energy drinks. So just bulk growing saffron and beets right off the start of the season, and you'll be able to sell those energy drinks, provided, of course, that I'm not sure if the water pump and the osmosis purifier are phase 1 or 2 unlocks, but if those are phase 2 unlocks, you might have to wait a week to actually use those saffron or those beet seeds, but trust me, having that will be super duper helpful. Also, once again, you want to transfer all those rare seeds over. Technically, with the amount of points that you have, you could technically transfer one seed of each type of plant at least, and then other seeds that you're wanting more of, transfer more of. Another seed that you might want to have a bunch of is going to be mushroom seeds, as well as Scarlet Calamus seeds. As I mentioned earlier, you want to have Scarlet Calamus. So mushroom seeds will be useful because mushrooms are required to make breed boosting fertilizer. They can also be used to make fertilizer that will increase the deviation rate of crops. There's one that you can unlock in the Mematics, and there's one that you can unlock in Mematic Specializations, both of which will be using mushrooms to create, you know, the deviated ones. Now, the one unlocked in Mematics, I think it actually uses normal mushrooms plus Stardust, and then the one unlocked in Mematic Specializations just uses 3 deviated mushrooms. So if you bulk grow mushrooms and have Buzzy Bees placed down, you'll be good to go. But like I said, this is my first talking point. There are other things you should be working on and you can be doing currently while you're waiting for Way of Winter to get here, besides growing your seeds. After all, once you get your seeds planted, you kind of got to wait the rest of the day, or at least a good few hours, before you're even able to harvest them. So the next thing I'm going to tell you to do is go do the cargo runs, guys. The cargo conquest, the cargo one, whatever they decided to name it this week. Go do those, because on the legacy servers, especially if you're on a legacy server, there will be no one competing for the cargo conquest. I got 1,000 sproutlet from one single conquest earlier, guys. I plan on coming in with 10 or 20,000 sproutlets start of Way of Winter, which we'll get into the sproutlet shop a bit later. I am going to show that. This isn't the only thing we're talking about here, but as you can see here, cargo conquest is so easy. This is literally what it is. It's tracking down this van. You got to shoot it. No matter what gun you use or anything, it's only going to take 1 damage, so just use your fastest gun. I usually use an SMG to take this down the quickest. but it will be an objective on your map, and the event runs at certain times throughout the day. For me, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon is one of the times Cargo Conquest does happen. I think it also happens sometime earlier in the day, but I know it happens at 5 o'clock in the evening for me, because that's when I logged in and they were all going on. I also want to mention that you can actually transfer between the worlds when you're doing these Cargo Conquest here. And what I mean by that is when you go to a teleport tower, you can actually change worlds, and when you do, all of the world events are world tied. So if you do all of the events in one world, you can transfer over to the next world and go do more. So if it's right at the start of Cargo Conquest, especially if you're on a legacy server, you can go to World 1, do all the Cargo Conquest, boop, drop to World 2, all the Cargo Conquest, boop, World 3, and keep going and have yourself 10s to 20,000 sproutlets extremely quickly. At least thousands super quickly. It does depend on the amount of times you farm it. You are going to have to be doing this every single day, but I will tell you it is well worth doing Cargo Conquest for these sproutlets. Sproutlets have a number of things that can be purchased from the shop. We will be taking a look at that in a second. Some of these sproutlets you may even be spending in the shop, because there are also weapon and armor mods that can be purchased in here that may be very good. They do cost 1,000 sproutlet, but the main reason why I'm stocking up and stacking up on these actually is due to the fact that you can purchase acid and stardust source inside of the sproutlet shop, which means that all of these sproutlets that you will instantly be having, because these transfer over during the season, can be used right off the get-go the instant you get to the first Union Stronghold to get yourselves a ton of acid and to get yourself a absolute ton of stardust source super duper quickly. Now once again, this will depend on how many of the sproutlets you've actually farmed up, but like I said, if you have 10 or 20,000, the more the better, is what I'm trying to tell you here, guys, because the acid redemption's unlimited, and there's a good 10,000 stardust in the shop there, guys. That means you'll be able to max out all of your armor, all of your weapons super duper quickly. At least the stardust source will be covered. There will be other materials you'll be needing to gather, but the stardust source is one of the main important ones, and the acid is very important for getting the ingots smelted up. If you bring yourself a drill, you're going to be having a good time anyway. So one other thing I'll mention is, while we're waiting for Way of Winter and you're still playing on your old servers or the semi-new old servers, you can go ahead and get yourself mods farmed up for the new builds. So the two new weapons that are coming out, the two main ones, at least the two that I know about that are build orientated really, are Frost and Burn builds. So Vortex, it's like something Vortex, Frost Vortex. I don't use Frost Vortex very often. I'm not even going to build a build for it. I do have a Burn build though. But that being said, you can go ahead and farm up those, and one of the good ways of doing that is doing these high risk events, because they drop the gold redemption box. Now I wanted to touch upon these high risk events and these other crisis events here. Now, not the main ones like Close Encounter Manibus, they don't count, but there are certain types of crisis events, and here's one of the really easy ones, the Black Heart Lake. Super duper easy, guys. You just go kill the Black Heart. You shoot him so much, he puts up a shield, he gives you a boss to kill, you kill the boss, he's back to being taking damage, you shoot him some more, and then eventually you'll get to the end and he's dead. This can mutate and turn legendary if you kill it quick enough, which I did, and this can be soloed. So once again, if you're on a legacy server and there ain't no one to play with, you are okay, because guess what? It's okay, because this can be soloed. Now, I am going to be showing you one more event besides the Black Lake, but the reason why I'm mentioning these crisis events is that you can do 3 of these a day for 3 controllers a day, so you can farm 3 extra controllers every single day. That being said, they do give the mod boxes, which you can spend a controller to open, but you do not have to, and if your only goal is stacking up on controllers, then you can farm up 3 a day, every day, until the 17th hits for the next couple days, and be getting yourselves a nice few more controllers. Once again, the other thing is, this is giving you energy links, this is giving you acid, other stuff you might be needing to use. I know when you're working on your build, you're going to need quite a few energy links if you plan on getting them fully enhanced, and I super recommend for you to go ahead and build your mods now, even for builds you don't currently use, even if you're just getting mods built for the Frost Vortex build or for the Burn build, for the 2 new guns that you know you're going to want to check out. I want to check them both out, and I don't even have a Frost build built, and I think I'm just going to run with that ACS 12 and get a good few views off of that video, because I know that Burn shotgun is going to be an OP build with this crit Burn build I'm working on, guys. Cannot wait to show you it. Next, this one's really easy. Now, I can't see the name right now because I'm just watching this playback in the editor. But you should be able to see the name of this. I think it's Paradise Lost or something like that. But all you gotta do is go through and destroy 3 nest eggs, and every single time you destroy a nest egg, they will drop something called a cipher. You then will walk the cipher over to this hill here where we're shooting this boss at, and sit on this hill until it gets to 100%. Upon reaching 100%, you will be able to kill the tower boss here. He's super duper easy. This was once again another high risk mission that is super duper easy to do solo, guys. No problem. No sort of 3 towers to defend with 1 person or anything like that. Just easy peasy getting her done, guys. So the next thing we're actually going to talk about is going to be just kind of like a final thing. I just wanted to kind of show this to you. So 1, this is a way to farm a deviation that you might want to be taking with you to Way of Winter. Now I say might because it's just a really good early game deviation, and the reason why I say it's a good early game deviation is because what it does is release tentacles from the ground that will just attack all enemies around you as like an AoE. It'd only be 500 points, and it could be great starter deviation for handling those lower levels, especially as you're just getting started in Way of Winter. That being said, we're all starting with blueprints and stuff, so it's a little strange. But aside from that, what I will say is this is a super duper easy event area to run. You can challenge this 6 times, and if you go to the teleport tower just outside of Theta that I just shown on map and everything else, you can actually just change worlds and go through and run all 6 of them. Now you do have to have the red circle actually over there in the fields. I have gotten to these fields and the red circle hasn't been there, but most of the time the red circle's been in the fields. Now another thing to mention is every single time you do this event, it will be a different run. I mean, you may get some that repeat, but it's randomized, so there's different versions of this event. But I do believe this is about the end of the video now. Hopefully this will keep you held over until Way of Winter. But go ahead and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, and keep it beast mode.